Frank McKenna is a former Canadian ambassador to the U.S. and former Premier of New Brunswick, and he joins us in studio now. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're speaking all about Donald Trump and Mark Carney's upcoming meeting. That's tomorrow. This meeting can no doubt set the tone for Canada-U.S. relations. What are you looking out for?
Well, good morning, Faiza. Thank you for having me here. Well, it's a chance to establish a personal relationship. That's probably at the top of the list. Personal chemistry does cover over a lot of other issues, so we'll see how that develops. But it's also a chance to level set the facts and try to get the facts straight. You know, the White House, the way it's construed at the present time, might be known as the home of the big whopper, because we're seeing a lot of fabrications coming out, especially with respect to Canada. There is not a $200 billion trade imbalance with Canada. That's just quantitatively false. The biggest trading relationship in the world, and we probably have the smallest trade imbalance in the world, and it's all because we send raw materials to the U.S. for them to create jobs out of. And it doesn't take into account that we've discounted our oil to the tune of $80 billion over the last 10 years, or that softwood lumber is subject to a very hefty tariff barrier that's created a $10 billion escrow fund, or that the United States is not stopping the flow of guns into Canada, which is creating mayhem really for our police forces across the country. So we have a lot of facts that we need to set straight.
So if you were advising the Prime Minister, I know that Mark Carney is probably in a room preparing for tomorrow's meetings here. What advice do you give him to position himself? Because we saw that Trump at moments can become unpredictable. We saw that with President Zelensky when he visited the Oval Office earlier this year. So what do you tell Carney to help prepare him in a scenario that perhaps can go down that road?
Well, I wouldn't try to give Prime Minister Carney any advice. He's been in a lot of big rooms and big situations before. He'll know exactly what to do. But I think he needs to do what he's been doing throughout the campaign, and that's be an adult in the room, be cool, calm, measured, and factual.
Don't get sucked in.
Exactly. Don't get sucked in and don't get emotional like I always get. But just the facts and talk about the shared history, the relationship, and how good it is, and how we represent the contrary to what President Trump says, we are the biggest supplier of their oil, of their gas, of aluminum, of potash, of everything.
Because Trump has said we don't need any of that from Canada.
He keeps saying that, and he's just wrong. 70% of the aluminum crosses the border from Canada. About 80 or 90% of potash, uranium, we fuel 30 of their nuclear reactors. Even in the case of autos, he keeps saying that we've got auto plants, we're shipping everything to the United States. We only represent 10% of auto production in North America, and we're 40 million people, so that's about our natural market share. So we have to really correct a lot of his facts. They do need Canada. 31% of all their tourists are from Canada. Over 1,000 nurses a day cross the border to work in Detroit. They need Canada.
Okay. So Carney has said that he is expecting a comprehensive set of meetings. I want to fast forward to maybe end of day Tuesday or Wednesday morning. What is the best case scenario for Mark Carney and for Canada?
I think the best case is that this is the beginning of a process, and that President Trump will put seasoned negotiators up, not himself, but professional negotiators, and that we will start putting together a team of professional negotiators. Look, we have a trade agreement with the United States of America. Everything that Trump is doing is in breach of it. So we could say, why don't we wait till 2026 and negotiate? But if he's going to put tariffs on us, we might as well get started at it now, have professional negotiators in the room, and come up with some kind of a comprehensive trade and security deal that will calm things down, allow investors to invest, and consumers to consume.
You mentioned security right quickly there. That's going to be a focus of these meetings. So what kind of assurances is the Prime Minister looking from the U.S. right now, and what can Canada offer up as well?
Well, on the military side, our commitment to get to 2% of GDP it was one all parties made, so he can make that commitment. But on the border, we've already spent $1 billion securing the border more. We are not the source of fentanyl. I think we need to emphasize that. They keep talking about fentanyl. Wall Street Journal says 23,000 pounds on the Mexican border, and a soup can on the Canadian border. So we can say that we are not a problem. On the other hand, you have crystal meth crossing the border, you have guns crossing the border, you have migrants crossing the border. We want you to help secure the border because you have a responsibility. Margaret Atwood said it best. She said the border is like a one-way mirror. We see the United States and they see the United States. We've got to get the United States to see Canada as an equal and sovereign partner.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Frank McKenna, thank you so much. We'll look forward to tomorrow's meeting and touch base with you then. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Faiza.